Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am here at Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts, here for some high school girls volleyball between local rivals Brookline High and Newton North High. As you can see, the team's still warming up at this stage. Original start time for this game is around 4 o'clock, but probably going to be starting a little later. But once the game gets going, I'll be here to broadcast it, and I hope you'll be here to watch. In the meantime, I'll put my mic on mute as we wait for the teams to finish warming up. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm here live at Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts, here to bring you some high school girls volleyball action between local rivals Brookline High and Newton North High. The Warriors of Brookline High coming into this game with a record of 2-2. They opened with back-to-back losses against the Milton High Wildcats, 3-1 on their own turf, and then 3-2 out in Milton's neck of the woods. Then they followed that up with back-to-back sweep wins against the Framingham Flyers to even their record at 2-2. They now take on their rival, the Newton North Tigers. And you know both teams are eager for a win whenever these two face off. Both teams get out onto the court. Brookline bringing a lineup of number 11, Sophie Hester, number 16, Morgan Brandel, number 12, Caroline Viola, number 8, Jamie Chamberlain, the libero, number 1, Kali Alexander, and rounding it out with number 5, Fair Caballero. And it looks like it's Newton that'll be getting the first serve. This is number 13, Abigail Wright, who will be getting this match started for us from the Newton North side. First serve is off and we're underway. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, but a double hit on the set by Brandel, and Newton North gets the first point of the match. Wright getting set up for another serve. Up and over, received again by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked but too far. That was Caroline Viola attempting to put it away, but a little too much height under that one, and it sails long. Newton North leads 2-0. Another serve from Wright, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Jamie Chamberlain, goes for the kill. Attempted block there from Newton North's number 3, Riley Raker, and number 8, Carlotta Minozzi, but went off the side of the hand off the spike from Jamie Chamberlain for a clean kill. Newton North leads 2-1. Caroline Viola will be bringing the serve for Brookline. Serve is away. It's received, set by Minozzi, set over by Raker, received by Viola, set by Brandel, spiked by Hester, received by Wright, set by Minozzi, and a spike is recovered by Caballero, set by Brandel, tapped over by Chamberlain, and it looks like they'll get the point there. Light touch on the finish by Jamie Chamberlain, and after some deflections, it wasn't in a good spot for anyone on Newton North's side. That all coming off a great dig by Fair Caballero on the defensive side. Served by Viola, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, tapped over, and just wide. That was number 19, Ava Bettino, trying to get the third hit there, but sends it wide, and Brookline takes its first lead of the game, 3-2. Viola, another serve. Received, set by Minozzi, and set to the wrong spot, I guess. No one was ready for that one. 4-2, the Brookline lead. Viola sends it up and over. It's received, set by Minozzi, spiked cleanly for a kill this time by Ava Bettino. So after an erroneous placement on the set on the last point, Carlotta Minozzi sets up her teammate Ava Bettino for a clean kill that time. Serving for Newton North now will be Riley Raker. Brookline leads 4-3. Raker sends it up and over, received by Caballero, set by Brandel, spiked by Ayana Medina, but it goes into the net. Score is knotted at 4. Served by Raker. And it's off the fingertips of Caballero, and that's going to go for an ace. Caballero switched from A bump to a set too late there. And Raker sends another one over, received erroneously again by Caballero. Back-to-back aces by Riley Raker going off the arms of Fair Caballero as Newton North takes a 6-4 lead. Caballero, a pretty strong defensive presence for Brookline. You're not going to see her make back-to-back mistakes like that too often. Raker sends it over for an ace. 3 straight aces for Riley Raker, and that time it was just very well placed into a weak spot of Brookline's defensive formation. Sent over again, received cleanly this time by Kali Alexander, set by Brandel, and Medina just has to send it over. It's taken by Wright, set by Minozzi, spiked and received by Alexander, kept alive by Brandel, sent over by Medina, received by Raker, and then a spike on 2, kept alive and tapped over, but they're going to say point to Brookline. I think it was either a double hit or someone touched the net or something. But either way, Brookline gets the point. They shrink the lead to 7-5. Some nice defense there by Brookline, particularly from Kali Alexander off of a surprise spike by Minozzi on 2. And now it'll be Brookline's Bree Bacon bringing the jump serve. And she gets an ace off the first one. Went off the fingertips of number 11, Julia Morgan. That looked pretty familiar. It looked kind of like what happened with Caballero against Raker's serve. 7-6 the score. Bacon brings it again. Received cleanly this time. Set by Minozzi. Spike over, and did that stay in? They're going to say it either went off someone's arm or it just caught the sideline. Either way, a nice kill by Ava Bettino. Newton North retakes the serve and maintains their lead. 8-6 now. It'll be Carlotta Minozzi bringing the serve for the Tigers. Minozzi with a southpaw jump serve, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, but they're going to say a double hit on Brandel's set, and that gives Newton North the point. Minozzi bringing another serve. And that one goes way long, and that was an interesting sequence. Serve might have been going long, but a snap judgment by Bree Bacon tried to keep it in play, and then Medina, an even more desperate attempt as she just reached out her leg. 10-6 the score off another ace. Another serve by Minozzi. Off the net cord, somehow Brookline keeps it alive and gets it over. And they get the point! Incredible. A great reach off of the net cord serve. I believe that was Bree Bacon who got the first hit. Medina who then kept it alive, and Morgan Brandel who set it over in desperation. And somehow Brookline ends up getting the point off of that. 10-7 the score, and it'll be Jamie Chamberlain serving for the Warriors. Received by the libero, bumped by Minozzi. Spike blocked, and then sent over. Brookline now on the attack. But the long spike, it goes off the side of the hand of Millie Gumpel. Brookline got a nice spike there off of the first attempted spike by number 15, Joanna Tembalopoulos. But after that, they couldn't set up an attack. It's Bettino on serve. Received by Bacon, set by Brandel, spiked by Millie Gumpel. Received by Bettino, set by Minozzi. A spike by Wright is received by Chamberlain, set by Brandel. Another spike by Gumpel, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, set over by the libero, kept alive by Bacon, and now it just has to be pushed over by Brandel. Awkward spot, but Newton North stays in it. Pushed over by Minozzi, received by Chamberlain, sent over on 2 by Brandel, and that gets the point. Wild sequence there, and ultimately it's Morgan Brandel with the trickery, sending the ball over on 2 to a spot Newton North wasn't ready for. 11-8 the score, and it'll be Kali Alexander serving for the Warriors. Up and over, and received, and now a spike by Wright for the kill. That all started with what was a pretty good serve receive by Ava Bettino, as Alexander sent a line drive of a serve. She sends her serves from so far back that sometimes not the trajectory that receivers might be used to. But either way, it set up a great spike by Abigail Wright. And now it'll be the libero serving for Newton North, and the serve goes long. So Brookline gets the serve right back. They trail 12-9 here in the first set of this best-of-5 match. Morgan Brandel will be bringing the serve for Brookline. She's starting way back, which I assume means we're going to see a long run-up and a jump. Indeed we are. Received by the libero, set by Minozzi. Awkward spike goes right into the net. They were further back than they wanted to be on that play, and Tembalopoulos could not send it over on the third hit. All started by a great jump serve from Morgan Brandel. Brandel brings it again, but long. An interesting sight. Morgan Brandel seemed to have switched from her jump serves to standing serves the past couple of matches, and they'd been serving her well. She had a long streak of service points several times against Milton, but she's back to the jump serves as this serve goes for an ace by Ioana Tembalopoulos of Newton North, as the Tigers now take a 14-10 lead. But now she subs out after the ace, and instead it'll be Julia Morgan. Morgan sends it up and over. Received by Millie Gumpel, set by Brandel. Spike is received by the libero, set by Minozzi, spiked over by Wright, and just long. So off the attack error, Brookline will take the serve back and cut the Newton North lead to 14-11, and it'll be Fair Caballero taking the serve for the Warriors. Up and over, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, pushed over, received by Caballero, set by Brandel, spike by Chamberlain is killed. When they're able to set up those plays for Jamie Chamberlain right where she wants them, it can be absolutely lethal. 14-12 the score. Caballero sends it high and over, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, spike by Wright, lands that time. Abigail Wright has got a powerful serve in her own right, you might say, if you were aiming for a bad pun, which I was. Wright bringing a height of 6'1", a big advantage for a hitter as she sends the serve over, received by Kali Alexander, kept alive by Brandel, but not well enough. I think they're saying that was an illegal hit. Brandel wasn't in a good spot for that one, as Alexander's serve was getting, was getting dangerously close to the net. Another serve by Wright, received again by Alexander, set by Brandel, pushed over by Alexander, received by the libero after a deflection. Minozzi sets, tapped over by Raker, received by Hester, set by Brandel, spiked by Chamberlain for the kill. Abigail Wright and Jamie Chamberlain just trading haymakers at this point. 16-13, Newton North currently leads here in the first set. And it looks like it'll be Caroline Viola back on the back line for her serve. Up and over it goes. Awkwardly received, but kept alive by the libero and bumped over by Minozzi. Received by Caballero. Set by Brandel. Spiked by Chamberlain is blocked. Great effort at the net by Carlotta Minozzi and Riley Raker to shut down Chamberlain's spike attempt. And it'll be Raker following up with her serve as Newton North leads 17-13. Raker sends it over. Received awkwardly by Caballero. Set by Brandel. Spiked by Medina. Will go for the kill. Ayana Medina got a lucky deflection there. It was either off the net cord or off a blocker's hands. Hard to tell. But either way, it deflected where she needed it to. And Medina gets the nice kill. 17-14, Newton North leads. Bree Bacon bringing the jump serve now for Brookline. But the jump serve goes long. 18-14, Newton North leads. Tigers have maintained a lead for most of this first set, but Brookline's always been hot on their heels. And now it'll be Minozzi bringing the lefty jump serve for Newton North. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel. Spike by Chamberlain goes long. 19-14. Minozzi, another serve. Received by Caballero. Kept alive by Brandel. Tapped over by Medina. And a double hit. Oh no, they're saying it was an illegal hit on Brookline's side. I thought maybe they were going to call it on Newton North for a double hit by Michaela O'Neill there, but instead it'll be a point for Newton North, 20-14. Minozzi the serve. It lands just long. 20-15, a courageous watch there by the Brookline back players. That was dangerously close to being in for another ace, but instead they'll go for a faulty serve and a 20-15 lead. Newton North 5 points away from victory in this first set. Brookline 5 points away from catching up, and it'll be Lily Sternlicht with the serve. Received by the libero, set by Minozzi, spiked over, but they're saying an illegal hit on the spike. That was Ioana Tembalopoulos, who was trying to finish that one there, but they call an illegal hit, and so Sternlicht will go back to serve. Her team trailing 20-16. Serve is away, received by the libero. Bumped by Minozzi, tapped over by Tembalopoulos. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked over by Medina. Off a deflection, she gets the kill. It was deflected at the net by number 12, Michaela O'Neill. But that deflection might have actually ended up hurting more than it helped. 20-17 now the score, and Sternlicht back on serve. Serve is over. It's received, set by Minozzi, spiked over by Bettino, dug out by Bacon, set by Brandel, tapped over, received by Minozzi, bumped by the libero, and spiked over for the kill by Ava Bettino. (21-17) the score. Bettino bringing the serve for the Tigers. Received by Alexander. Set by Brandel. Spiked by Medina. Is dug out by Minozzi. And then Minozzi ultimately pushes it over. Received by Sternlicht. Set by Brandel. Spiked by Millie Gumpel. Clean kill there by Millie Gumpel. And Brookline closes the gap back to 3 points. 21-18 the score. Kali Alexander will be bringing her serves from deep. Serve comes, and it goes for an ace. Off the arms of Abigail Wright. You'll notice if you're watching on the video stream is we got a timeout called. You'll notice if you're watching on the video stream, Kali Alexander brings her serves from not just behind the back line of the basketball court, but behind the Tiger's word, the orange highlight that goes beyond the baseline of the basketball court that reads Tigers on it. So she brings her serves from a really far back place, which kind of allows her to just hammer them a little more without worrying about them going long. 21-19 the score in favor of the Tigers here in the first set, but Brookline trying to build some momentum and finish off a comeback here. Alexander will bring the serve once again for the Warriors. There's the buzzer for the end of the timeout. Alexander brings her serve again, and it hits the back line. What did I say? When she takes the serves from that far back, she can send them sailing without worrying about it going long. And Newton North thought that one was going to go long, but it landed on the back line. 21-20. Brookline 1 point away from tying this first set. Serve goes up and over. Received awkwardly by the libero. Bumped by Minozzi. Pushed over. Received by Brookline. And now a spike by Viola goes into the net. Now it'll be Newton North's libero. Newton North a 22-20 lead. Serve is over, received by Bree Bacon. Set by Brandel, spiked by Millie Gumpel, goes for the kill. A nice spike by Millie Gumpel. And now Morgan Brandel will be bringing her running jump serve to try and tie this set up. Serve is away, received by the libero, kept alive and pushed over. Received by Sternlicht, set by Brandel, spiked by Viola, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, spiked over by the libero, but it goes long. We've got a tie game here in the first set, 22 apiece. Brookline trailed by as much as 6, and they have fought their way back here in the first set of this match. Brandel sends it up and long. So right after that, Newton North takes back the lead at 23-22 off the faulty serve. Now bringing the serve for Newton North will be number 11, Julia Morgan. Received by Alexander, bumped by Brandel, spiked over by Sophie Huster, dug out by the libero, set by Minozzi, spiked, received by Sternlicht. It goes over the net, but wide. A powerful spike again from Abigail Wright. Credit to Sternlicht for getting her hands on that one, but a little too much juice. And now Newton North leads 24-22. Awkward serve goes for an ace. And that'll actually finish it. It seemed as though number 11, Julia Morgan, hesitated a little bit, might have had her timing slightly off, but it ended up working out in her favor as she sent a short serve that Brookline wasn't ready for. So the first set goes to Newton North, 25-22. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live at Newton North High School, and I'll be back after a short mute break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, here to bring you the second set of this high school girls volleyball matchup between the visiting Brookline High Warriors and the hosting Newton North Tigers. The home team took the first set in a narrow victory, 25-22. The Warriors mounted a great comeback. They were down by as much as 6 and tied things up at 22. But then Newton North took the momentum right back. A faulty serve gave them back the lead, and then a big spike by Abigail Wright, followed by kind of a lucky service ace by Julia Morgan to finish things off. That's just how quick momentum can shift in volleyball, especially in the later stages of the game. You get a couple of points and all of a sudden set's over. So Brookline will be hoping to turn things around here in the second set, maybe get off to a better start this time and not have to make a big comeback. Morgan Brandel will be starting things off for the Warriors. She goes for a standing serve this time, and we're underway. Ava Bettina receives it. Carlotta Minozzi with the set. Spike by Abigail Wright. Received by Brandel. Bumped by Alexander. Spike by Millie Gumpel. Received by Wright. Set by Minozzi. Another spike by Wright is blocked this time, and they can't get it over. Nice blocking effort by Sophie Hester and Caroline Viola against the powerful spike of Abigail Wright. Brookline takes the first point of the set, 1-0. Brandel brings the serve, but this time straight into the net. It'll be Newton North's libero. Unfortunately, I don't have libero jersey numbers on my Newton North roster, so I can't tell exactly who that is, but either way, it's number 22. Serve goes up and over, and that'll go for an ace. Off the arms of Millie Gumpel, as the line drive serve wasn't quite at the level she wanted for that receive there. 2-1, the Tigers now lead. Serve up and over, received by Alexander, but into a spot no one was ready for. Seemed like Alexander needed to be just a fraction of a step forward in order to receive that a little more cleanly. But either way, that'll go down as an ace. Back-to-back aces for the libero. Sent over, received by Brandel, kept in play by Viola. Sent over by Brandel. That was actually Gumpel on the first receive. Now Newton North on the attack, and that one's going to go long. That was Riley Raker with the third hit there. But she pushes it too far. So the Newton North lead is now 3-2, and it'll be Fer Caballero bringing the serve for Brookline. Serve is up and away. Dug out and over on one. Received by Brandel. Bumped by Alexander. Spiked by Chamberlain is killed. Jamie Chamberlain with another kill from the outside hitter position. When she's gotten her opportunities this match, she's been effective. Caballero another serve. We're all tied up at 3. Dug out by Wright. Set by Minozzi, spiked by Wright, goes into the net. That might have been slightly blocked. Once again, it was Hester and Viola ready for the block there for Brookline. But either way, the spike doesn't go over. Brookline a 4-3 lead. Caballero, another serve, received awkwardly by Wright, kept in play by Bettino, bumped over by Minozzi, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Viola, is going for a kill. Brookline with some good early momentum here and a 5-3 lead. When the spikes are working for you and not working for your opponent, that can be a very good position. Served by Caballero, received by Wright, set by Minozzi, spiked over awkwardly, but it drops in the right spot. The kill goes to Ella Marr. 5-4 the score in favor of Brookline as Newton North takes the serve back. as Ella Marr, who just got the kill, subs out for number 17, Megan Carey. Carey sends the serve away. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked over by Sophie Hester for the kill. Brookline's spikes have been going very well for them, either going off a deflection off the hands of the attempted blocks by Newton North or just into the exact right place. Either way, a 6-4 lead for the Warriors. Served over by Viola, received by Wright, set by Carey, spiked over, and I think that's going to go for a kill. I think that was Riley Raker who brought the lefty spike there. You don't see a lot of left-handed hitters in the game. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a lefty spike. Either way, it'll be Abigail Wright on the serve. Brookline leading 6-5. Serve is up and over, received by Chamberlain, set by Brandel, but they're going to say a double hit on the set by Brandel. Probably focused on not touching the net there, so she couldn't get into the position she wanted to, and it results in the illegal hit. We're all tied up at 6. It'll be another serve for Wright. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Hester, is dug out by the libero and pushed over on 2. Caballero keeps it in play. Brandel keeps it alive, and it's punched over by Alexander. Now a spike is dug out by Caballero, set by Brandel, and Chamberlain couldn't push it over. For Caballero, kept that point in play when it seemed like Newton North was going to get an erroneous hit wide. Couldn't hear her teammates telling her to let it go. Understandable instinct. Newton North takes a 7-6 lead. Another serve by Wright, and that's going to go probably for an ace. It will. Caballero couldn't get a clean receive on it. And Wright will continue her streak of serves. 8-6 now, the Newton North lead here in the second set. Tigers lead the Warriors 1-0. Wright sends the serve away. Received, set by Brandel, spiked by Hester, received by Wright, kept alive by Carey, pushed over by Minozzi, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Ayana Medina, goes for the kill. Eight to 7, Newton North leads. Ayana Medina closing the gap after that kill. And it'll be Bree Bacon bringing the serve. Bacon sends it up and away and long. Serve goes right back to Newton North with a 9-7 lead. It'll be Riley Raker serving for Newton North. Up and over, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Chamberlain, is received, set by Carey and bumped over by Sophia Landry, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Medina, is received too awkwardly. Another kill for Ayana Medina. Nine to 8 the score. Jamie Chamberlain on serve for Brookline. Chamberlain sends the serve up and into the net. Brookline has got to get their service consistency back up because they keep taking points on receive and then giving them right back to Newton North with faulty serves. And you can't win that way. Volleyball is just not designed for you to only win off of your opponent's serves. The serve comes from Minozzi and into the net. So both teams giving each other some gifts there. The Newton North lead is 10-9. And this time bringing the serve from downtown will be Kali Alexander. And it's an ace. I love watching Kali Alexander serve because she serves from such an absurd distance, and it absolutely works in her favor. 10-all the score. The serve this time flies too long. I think I might have brought the announcer jinx on that one, talking about how her long serves allow her to just let it boom and not have to worry about passing that back line, and there she just did. 11-10, the Newton North lead. This is number 7, Sophia Landry, serving for Newton North. Serve is long, and Brookline takes back the serve immediately. Neither side wanting to pull away here, both being kind of cursed by some faulty serves. And it'll be Morgan Brandel now taking over for Brookline. She's brought jump serves and standing serves. We'll see what she does this time. It's a standing serve, and it's long. So now it'll be the libero for Newton North as we get a timeout. I'm not sure which side called this timeout, but I wouldn't blame either one of them. Both teams having trouble pulling away as the current score in the second set, Newton North 12, Brookline 11. But both teams having big trouble with their serves. Neither one can seem to find that rhythm, and that's really the only way you can pull away, because if you're getting points off the opponent's serve, you can only get one. And then you have to win points off your serve, otherwise you can't get anything going. One set to nil, the Newton North lead in the match. And here in the second set, the Tigers hold a narrow 12-11 advantage over the Warriors. And it'll be the Tigers serving as we come out of the timeout here. Brookline coming out with Hester, Viola, Bacon, looks like Gumpel, Chamberlain, and Alexander. Oh, my mistake. Hester now subbing out for Charlotte Mullen. And they'll have a 4-back set ready to receive the libero's serve for Newton North. Newton North playing the libero, Carlotta Minozzi, Ella Marr, Riley Raker, Abigail Wright, and I think that last player is Sophia Landry. Serve is up and over, dug out by Alexander, set by Bacon, bumped over, received by Bettino, set by Minozzi, spiked by Wright, goes for the kill. That was my mistake. It wasn't Landry, it was Ava Bettino who rounds out the Newton North lineup as she gets the receive that sets them up for the kill by Abigail Wright. 13-11, the Newton North lead. Serve is over and received into the net by Alexander. And they couldn't make a miracle out of that one. That was just a line drive serve right to the face. And Alexander did what she could there. (14-11), the Tigers lead. Serve is away. Received by Chamberlain. Set by Bacon. Spiked by Chamberlain. Does not get over. Might have been slightly blocked there by Riley Raker and Ella Marr. And Newton North, coming out of that timeout, has now found its rhythm. 15-11, the Tigers lead. 3 straight points out of the timeout. The serve goes for an ace this time. Off the arms of Charlotte Mullen. A bit awkward there, running into the pratfall of the 4-back set as they now switch to 3-back. Serve is away, received by Chamberlain. Bumped by Mullen, and Alexander just has to send it over, but sends it over long. Brookline was out of sorts that entire time. Chamberlain's receive just went straight up. Bree Bacon was trying to chase it over for the second hit, but Mullen was there and took it. And then Alexander just had to try and bump it over and sent it long in the panic. 17-11, the serve, received by Mullen, set by Bacon, spike over by Chamberlain, and they're going to say just long. Jamie Chamberlain going for a bit of a roll shot there, but just past the back line, and it'll be an 18-11 lead for Newton North. 6 straight points since that timeout. The serve received by Mullen, set by Bacon, spiked by Viola, received by Minozzi, bumped by the libero, spiked over, dug out by Chamberlain, and blocked back. I believe that was Abigail Wright who got the finishing point there. Now 19-11. A 7-0 run for Newton North since that timeout was called back at a 12-11 score, and now the Tigers pulling away here in the second set. Serve is away, dug out by Sternlicht, set by Bacon, pushed over by Alexander, received by Minozzi, bumped by the libero, pushed over by Marr, and Marr gets the kill. Ella Marr with the one-handed tap. Well placed, floated over the blockers and in front of the back players. 20-11 now the score. Newton North leads here in the second set. Serve is away, received by Alexander, set by Bacon, spiked by Mullen, it's blocked but they recover, and Alexander just has to bump it over, received by Minozzi, bumped and then tapped by Marr but blocked. Marr keeps it alive, and now it's pushed over, deflected. Can Brookline keep it alive? They cannot. Wild sequence as each team got a block there. But ultimately it was Brookline who got the disadvantageous deflection off a hit by Abigail Wright. Newton North now leads by 10, 21-11. Serve is into the net. And finally, that big point streak ends. Since Newton North went on serve and came out of that timeout, 9 straight points. And that's got to be crushing for Brookline after that close first set and then keeping things close throughout the second set to all of a sudden find yourself down this much. Caballero with the serve, dug out by the libero, set by Minozzi, spiked by Wright, and that's going to go for a kill. Caballero couldn't keep that one alive despite a desperate reach there, and Newton North takes the point right back. 22-12. It'll be number 17, Megan Carey, bringing the serve for the Tigers. Serve is up and away, received awkwardly and right into the net. Caballero's receive did not go where she wanted it to. 23-12 now the score for Newton North. Another serve from Carey, received by Chamberlain, bumped by Bacon. Chamberlain just has to bump it over, received by Carey, bumped, and then awkward spike goes long. The second hit by the libero went out of place. Ava Bettino couldn't get in a good spot for that one. 23-13, Brookline back on serve with Caroline Viola. Up and over, received, bumped by Carey. A lefty spike goes right into the net. That was Carlotta Minozzi, the southpaw, who usually plays the role of the setter, but that time she went for the third hit, and it went straight into the net. 23-14. Viola the serve, received by the libero, set by Carey, sent over by Raker, and that's going to go for a kill. A nice floater by Riley Raker puts Newton North at set point, 24-14. When Newton North reached this point in the first set, Brookline had 22. Not nearly as close this time. The serve goes over, received by Chamberlain, bumped by Bacon, spiked by Alexander, and Alexander gets the kill. Off the long spike from behind the attack line. I don't think anyone was receiving that, was expecting that. I mean, the last thing you would ever expect is for a libero to bring a line drive spike from behind the attack line. I'm not sure what's happening. There's some kind of discussion going on at the scorer's table. Are they checking to see if Alexander was allowed to make that third hit? Or are they just clearing up some substitution kerfuffles? I'm not entirely sure. Looks like we're all clear. 24-15 the score. Bree Bacon with the jump serve. Goes for an ace. Went off the arms of number 7, Sophia Landry. 24-16 now the score. Brookline still with their backs to the wall here in the second set. Bacon brings the serve again, received by Landry, set by Carey. Landry with the spike, received, set by Bacon, pushed over by Chamberlain, pushed back by Newton North, and no one was ready for it. Bit of miscommunication there on Brookline's side by Kali Alexander and Jade Lee, and that's going to end the second set. Newton North takes it 25-16. The Tigers now on the brink of a sweep. 2-0 they lead over the Warriors. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live here at Newton North High School, and I'll be back after a short mute break. Stay tuned. And we're back here at Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here to bring you the third and possibly final set of this high school girls volleyball match between the visiting Brookline High Warriors and the hosting Newton North High Tigers. The Tigers holding a 2-0 lead. They took the first set 25-22 and took the second set with a little more ease, 25-16. Brookline, of course, the last time they had their backs to the wall like this, it was in Milton's gym, and we all remember how that turned out as Brookline nearly mounted a comeback for the ages, pushed it to a 5th set before ultimately losing in that 5th set. We'll see if we can witness another kind of turnaround of that proportion, as it'll be Newton North serving to open the 3rd set. This is number 13, Abigail Wright. Getting us started here for Newton North, and we're underway. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Chamberlain is blocked. A great block by Riley Raker with assistance from Carlotta Minozzi. And the Tigers take the first point to start this one off. Right with the serve, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Viola, received, bumped by Minozzi, a little too close, but they barely managed to get it over. It's pushed back by Caroline Viola. Nice play at the net. You know, when you can win the ugly points, that's crucial, especially at the high school level. And Caroline Viola scrapped out one there and knotted the setup at 1, and now she serves it. Received, set by Minozzi, spike whiffed by Bettino. Ava Bettino wound up and swung at that one, and it just went off the side of her hand. 2-1 now the score in favor of Brookline. Caroline Viola lining up for another serve. Serve is away. Received, but too awkwardly. That was number 11, Julia Morgan, trying to receive that serve, and it just didn't go well. That'll be an ace for Viola. 3-1 the score. Received by Wright this time. Set by Minozzi. Long spike by Wright is received awkwardly. Kept in play, but Brookline can't get it over. Long roll shot by Abigail Wright was received awkwardly by Morgan Brandel and then couldn't be properly followed up. 3-2 the score, and it'll be Riley Raker bringing the serve for Newton North. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Sophie Hester, goes long. 3-3 the score as Raker sits up to serve once again. Serve is dug out by Chamberlain, set by Brandel, spiked by Chamberlain, gets through the blockers just barely for the kill. Michaela O'Neill and Carlotta Minozzi were at the net trying to block Chamberlain's spike, but their spike just seemed to go straight back into the net on their side. And so that goes as a kill for Chamberlain. 4-3 the score. Bree Bacon serves it over. Awkwardly received by Wright. Kept in play by Morgan. Punched over by Minozzi. Received by Alexander. Set by Brandel. Spiked by Chamberlain for the clean kill. An awkward receive off of Bacon's serve put Newton North on its heels for that entire point. Bacon brings another serve, received by Wright. That might go over. It's tried to tap over, but a great block there by Carlotta Minozzi. It was the two number 8s, Jamie Chamberlain and Minozzi, who were meeting at the net there. And Minozzi won the battle to get Newton North the point. 5-4 the score in favor of Brookline. And it'll be Minozzi, the southpaw, bringing the serve now. Received by Bacon, bumped by Brandel, spiked by Medina, goes into the net. All knotted up at 5. Minozzi still on serve. Serve is received by Bacon, set by Brandel, spike by Medina, goes wide this time. Medina was trying to go for a bit of a roll shot there, get it over the blockers, but just sailed a bit wide. 6-5, the Newton North lead now. Minozzi with the serve, received by Caballero, bumped by Brandel, spike by Chamberlain, received, set by Minozzi, spike by Bettino, just catches the sideline. Newton North finding its rhythm once again. They now hold a 7-5 lead over Brookline. Minozzi serves, received by Alexander, sent over on 2. Newton North was ready for it. Now Brookline in recovery mode. Alexander sends it over. Now Newton North trying to recover after an awkward receive, and they can't get it over. That was a battle of the desperate defenses after some savvy hits from both sides early in the sequence. And while Brookline was able to scrap the ball over the net, Newton North could not do the same. 7-6, the score in favor of Newton North, and it'll be Lily Sternlicht bringing the serve for Brookline. Up and over it goes, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, spike, and that'll go for a clean kill by number 15, Ioana Tembalopoulos. And I believe it'll be Ava Bettino now on the serve for the Tigers. Bettino sends it away, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Medina. And I think they're going to say one of the Newton North blockers touched the net. And so the point goes to Brookline. 8-7, the Newton North lead here in the third set. It'll be Kali Alexander bringing her long-distance serve now. Up and away. Received by the libero. Set by Minozzi. Spiked over by right. Received by Sternlicht. Set by Brandel. Spiked by Gumpel. And that's going to go for a kill. Off the fingertips of the blockers, and it's still touched down in the back corner. Great cross-court spike by Millie Gumpel to get the kill. Alexander sends it away. Received awkwardly. Now bumped by Tembalopoulos. Sent over by the libero, and they're going to get the point off of that. Newton North was on its heels. They just had to push it over, but Brookline wasn't ready as it was dropped in no man's land there. 9-8 now the lead for the Tigers, and it'll be the libero serving. We know they got a long string of points with her at serve, and now she sends this one over, received awkwardly by Bacon, bumped by Brandel. Alexander just has to send it over, received by Bettino, set by Minozzi. Spike is blocked. They have to send it over. Brookline just has to send it over on 1. Newton North resets, a spike by right, received by Alexander, bumped by Bacon, bumped over by Sternlicht, barely received, and they send it over on 2, received by Bacon, set by Brandel, pushed over by Alexander, received by Minozzi, bumped by the libero, long spike by Bettino, goes long. A wild battle back and forth there. Both teams strung together some strong sequences, but some especially good defense by the Warriors kept them alive long enough for Newton North to make a mistake. 9-all here in the third set. Brandel sends the serve away. Received by Bettino, set by Minozzi, spiked by right, goes into the net. Brookline takes the lead, 10-9. Brandel bringing the serve again, and it goes off the arms of Abigail Wright for an ace. 11-9. Now the Brookline lead. And this is the strength of getting your serves in. I mean, Brookline's had trouble with the consistency of their serves all match long, and it's cost them. Because, I mean, if you get the serve in, then you have a chance at the point. It really is that simple. Brandel with the serve, and it's just long. I really do feel like I've been jinxing these young ladies on their serves now. So it feels like that's only the second time I've really praised someone's serve today, and both times it was immediately followed by a serve going out. I gotta stop doing that. The serve up and over by Morgan, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, and a nice spike. Newton North barely gets it over. Desperately received by Alexander. Brookline keeps it alive, spikes it over by Hester. Now Newton North just has to push it over. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel. Tap over by Gumpel, received by Newton North. They reset, pushed over by Wright. And now spiked by Alexander goes long. Another wild sequence. We're seeing some long rallies here in the third set. And now this set is knotted up at 11 apiece. Julia Morgan sends the serve over, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spike by Viola, received, and now a spike by Wright, dug out by Alexander, set by Brandel, spike by Gumpel. Might go for a kill, but oh no, Newton North barely gets it over. Bumped back over on one by Alexander. Newton North resets, spike by Raker, and that's gonna go for the kill. Both teams scratching and clawing for these crazy rallies. And in that one, Riley Raker got the last word in, a kill off the side of the hands of the blockers. Another serve from Morgan, received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Gumpel, goes right into the net, might have been slightly blocked. That was Raker and Minozzi at the net. 13-11 the score. Morgan with the serve, received by Gumpel this time, set by Brandel, spiked by Viola, and this time Viola gets the kill. 13-12 the score. With all these long rallies, it'd be understandable if you looked at the score and went, really? It's only been a couple points? But I mean, that's just how these two teams have been scrapping it out these last few sequences. 13-12, the Newton North lead. It'll be Charlotte Mullen bringing the serve for Brookline. Up and away it goes, received by the libero. Set by Minozzi, spiked by Wright, dug out by Alexander. Set by Brandel, spiked by Chamberlain. Off the arms of Wright, kept alive by Bettino, bumped over by the libero. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked by Hester, goes long. 14-12. These teams are making me work with all these long rallies, trying to keep up with the action here. But you know what? I'm not complaining. These have been some excellent rallies. Abigail Wright with the serve, received by Alexander, bumped by Brandel, spiked by Chamberlain, goes into the net, might have been slightly blocked. Once again, it was Raker and Minozzi at the net. Hard to tell if Chamberlain's spike would have gone over, but those two certainly weren't helping it. 15-12, the Tigers lead. Wright with the serve, received by Alexander. Set by Brandel, a spike by Hester. Just barely get it over, and Brookline sends it back over on one. Newton North brings a lefty spike with Minozzi. Once again, Brookline just sends it back. And now a battle at the net, and it's won by Chamberlain. Once again, it was a battle at the two number 8s, Carlotta Minozzi and Jamie Chamberlain. And this time, the last word went to Chamberlain. 15-13 the score. Caroline Viola getting set to serve for the Warriors. Serve is dug out by Wright, set by Minozzi. Spike by Bettino is blocked, but Newton North keeps it alive, sends it over on 2, spiked back by Medina. Again, Newton North keeping it alive. They tap it over. It's tapped back again. Received by Viola, set by Brandel. Spiked by Chamberlain is blocked. And that's going to be the last word there. Riley Raker and Carlotta Minozzi were at the net. I think it might have been Raker who got the block. Off the attempted spike by Jamie Chamberlain. 16-13 the score. It'll be Raker bringing the serve off the net cord for an ace. That's got to be the shortest point we've had in about 5 or 6 points, as Riley Raker gets a lucky bounce off the net cord for an ace. Punches it over again. Received by Mullen, set by Brandel, tapped over by Chamberlain. Received, and Newton North barely manages to get it over. Alexander receives it, set by Brandel, and it's tapped by Medina. Savvy play. Ayana Medina went for a floating tap, sent just over the blockers and dropped perfectly into no man's land for a kill. 17-14, the Newton North lead. Brookline on serve now. This is Bree Bacon. Bacon sends the jump serve over. It's received, sent over on 2 by Minozzi, received by Bacon. Set by Brandel, spiked by Medina, dug out by Wright, set by Minozzi, spiked by Bettino, dug out by Alexander, set by Brandel, and miscommunication on Brookline's end. Couple of nice digs on both sides to keep the sequence going. But in the end, some miscommunication on the third hit there by Brookline gives Newton North the point, 18-14. It'll be the southpaw Minozzi sending the serve over. Received by Alexander. It might be a little too far, and it is. Alexander's receive got a little too close to the net there, and Morgan Brandel couldn't reach it for the second hit. That'll give Newton North the point, 19-14, as the Tigers starting to pull away now. Minozzi, another serve. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, spiked over by Bacon. Oh, but they're going to say a double hit on Brandel. More unforced errors by the Warriors, allowing the Tigers to pull away, and they are now 5 points away from the sweep. 20-14 the score. Minozzi still on serve. Up and over it goes. Received by Alexander, set by Brandel, tapped over by Chamberlain. Received by Bettino, set by Minozzi, spiked by Bettino. They're going to say it went long. 20-15 now the score. Remember, Brookline trailed 20-14 in the first set, and they managed to come back and tie it at 22 before Newton North pulled away in the end. We'll see if they can perform a similar comeback and maybe finish the job. Lily Sternlicht on serve for the Warriors. Received by the libero. Sent over on 2 by Minozzi for a savvy kill. Sneaky move by Carlotta Minozzi, the setter, to just push the ball over on the second hit. Brookline wasn't ready for it, and Minozzi placed it perfectly. 21-15 the score. Ava Bettino now on serve for Newton North. Received by Bacon. Set by Brandel, a spike by Charlotte Mullen goes long. (22-15) now the score. Another serve from Bettino. Received by Bacon, set by Brandel, spiked by Medina this time for the kill. Ayana Medina has had a few really nice spikes out of the middle hitter position. And that one closes the gap to 22-16. Brookline still needs 6 points to tie this setup, while Newton North needs half that to finish the match. Kali Alexander getting ready to serve for Brookline. Long serve is away. Received by Bettino, set by Minozzi, spiked by the libero, and that spike goes long. 22-17 now the score. Alexander sends it away. Received by the libero. Kept alive by Wright, but she ran into the pole, and I think they're going to give the point to Brookline off that. They are. Abigail Wright tried to keep it alive on the second hit, but too much momentum going towards the pole. 22-18 the score, and Newton North calls the timeout as Brookline is starting to gain some momentum. The Tigers just 3 points away from finishing this match. The home team took the first two sets, 25-22 and 25-16. Brookline trying to come back and tie this thing up and maybe turn it around so they can take their first set of the day. Unforced errors have been the curse for the Warriors thus far. Whether it's long spikes, miscommunications, or faulty serves, they've struggled to build long-standing momentum at various points, and Newton North has taken advantage. As we come out of the timeout, Kali Alexander will be serving again for Brookline, her team trailing 22-18. Serve is up and away and hits the net. And like clockwork, a faulty serve kills the momentum for Brookline. 23-18, now the Newton North lead. The libero getting set to serve. She was big trouble for Brookline in the second set. And now her serve is away, and it's an ace. Bree Bacon couldn't dig that one out. And now Newton North has match point, 24-18 the score. Serve is away, received by Chamberlain. Second hit by Brandel. Bacon just has to bump it over, received by the libero, set by Minozzi, spike by Wright, goes long. Wait, are they saying one of the Brookline players hit the net or something? They must be, because they gave the point to Newton North, and that's game over. Game, set, and match Tigers. Not entirely sure what happened on that final sequence, but the point goes to Newton North, so says the officials. And so that'll do it, I think. Or is this a timeout? I am so confused as to what's going on right now, so I'm just going to stand by and see what's happening. I mean, if that point was to Newton North, then the match is over. It'd be 3-0. And it looks like the Newton North players are leaving the gym, so I think that was the last point. So yeah, I do believe that was game, set, and match to Newton North. The home team takes it in a sweep, 3-0. The final score of the 3 sets, 25-22, 25-16, 25-18. I'm still going to stick around just to make extra sure. Yeah, looks like we're wrapping things up here. So yes, confirmed. Newton North defeats Brookline 3-0 with set scores 25-22, 25-16, and 25-18. Brookline showed some hard fight at various points, but just too many mistakes piled up on their end, and the Tigers capitalized. So that's going to do it from Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan signing off. Thank you all for listening, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.